I overheard my 28MGF26F say that her ex was the best she ever had. I heard my girlfriend of 3 years talking about how much better her ex was to her friends. She went a group FaceTime with all of her girlfriends and got drunk out of her mind. She was sitting with her laptop about 5 feet away from our bed at her desk. She thought I was asleep, even if I was. She said this with me literally 5 feet away from me. We had slept together and I thought I made her orgasm. After she was done I went to sleep. I woke up 3 hours later, and to her laughing. She sounded very drunk. I wasn't. I tried to not just go back to sleep. Before I could, I overheard her and her girlfriends talking about sex. She said sex was okay and sometimes she just faked it and let me get mine. I was hurt. Then they started talking about their best sexual experiences. She said her ex gave her the most intense orgasms she ever experienced. She said she would orgasm so hard she would lose total control of her legs. His dick was apparently big enough to the point where she felt completely filled, and hit her deep spots. Apparently 3 inches longer than mine. She said she missed being able to come like that and he ed her better than any man has. At that point I was near tears. I sat there for another, trying not to cry so she wouldn't hear me. She eventually hung up. When she got back in bed she noticed if I was awake, and asked me if I was up. I told her that I just felt the bed move and that woke me up. She then said she loved me and she would see me in the morning. This was about 2 and I stayed awake that night. I haven't been able to sleep or eat or anything for the last 3 days. I don't know what to do. I've been trying to be better in bed for her since we first got together, and 3 years of practice still can't beat raw talent. I've never felt like less of a man. At this point I feel selfish for even staying with her when she is obviously so dissatisfied with me. Her ex cheated on her and he dumped her when she found out. She would have stayed with him. I feel like I'm nothing compared to his memory. We haven't had sex in the last 3 days because I can barely even stomach the thought of trying to pleasure her. I don't know what I can do at this point. I love her so much and I've been thinking about proposing to her, but I don't know if I can anymore. After the 8th day of me never initiating sex with her and rejecting her with no explanation every time she initiated, she, near tears, asked me what was wrong and why I didn't want her anymore. I wasn't fully ready to talk about this yet, so I just told her I haven't been in the mood. She didn't believe me and asked what she was doing wrong. I told her I needed some time to myself and she demanded to know why. Finally I caved and showed her the post. I left our bedroom and left her alone to read it. 20 minutes later she came out of the bedroom crying and tried to hold on to me. I pushed her off of me and she started crying harder. I let her calm down to the point where she could speak coherently. She told me that she didn't think I was awake when saying all of those things, and they were all exaggerated. Firstly, she said that she enjoyed being with me, and that when she said she didn't have to fake it very much. She also said that she sometimes had to fake it with her ex sometimes too. Next she clarified that his size wasn't as large as she claimed. She said that the ex was only 1.5 inches above my size and that there is no possible way that she'd be able to have sex with someone as large as she claimed, and she was willing to prove it. I told her I didn't believe her because I have no reason to believe she'll be truthful about any of that stuff anymore. She went silent. I then told her that I couldn't believe that she'd tell her friends about how much worse I am than her ex. She still was silent, crying. I told her how much it hurt to know that she wasn't even willing to try to help me be better for her. I told her how I felt so unloved now and disrespected, and how I'm unsure if I want to propose to her anymore. She apologized for everything again. She said that her being drunk is no excuse what she did and won't heal the pain she caused me, and she understands that I can't unhear what I heard, but I just had to trust her on this. I'd told her I'd listen to her at least. She again said she didn't fake it much with me and her ex's dick wasn't that much bigger than mine, and that she only lied about that to one-up her girlfriends. She said she was too afraid to hurt my feelings, so she never wanted to critique our sex. I asked why she cared more about the quality of sex with her ex, and she said she never really critiqued him either. She said that he didn't know what he was doing and just pressed her buttons correctly enough for her to have intense orgasms. She said that she really didn't even guide him, so had no idea what he did, and she hasn't even been able to replicate what she felt from masturbation. She said that if I was willing to experiment with her, she thought we could figure it out. My last question for her was if she missed her ex. She said that sex with him was better, but more enjoyable with me because she felt more emotionally connected to me than him. I asked why she wanted to take him back, and she said that she was young and dumb and gave herself to people that didn't deserve her because she was afraid to be alone. She said that she found a great-looking guy that cherished her and gave a damn about her emotions in me. As of right now I'm still hurt greatly. Talking to her helped a lot, but it'll still take me time to be able to trust her like I did. I told her that I was going to need time, but at the end of the day I still loved her, and wanted to try to work through this. Update. Over the last 2 weeks I've been doing some serious thinking. Nothing in my relationship is worse, in fact it feels better. She's been communicating her needs more, the few times she thinks she isn't going to finish she'll tell me. She tells me all the ways she thinks I'm the best partner she had. I feel like she loves me more than anything. But still I feel like I just don't feel the same way about her. Everything feels great and nice but hollow. Usually other women don't catch my eye, but now they do. I see beautiful women and want to go up and flirt with them even though I know my girlfriend would be hurt by me feeling this way. It's gotten to the point where, and I know I shouldn't do this, but I started using dating apps. I've been pretty successful and have had great conversations with great women. I even met up with one of her twice and had some great times. We hooked up once and I had a better time than I've had with my GF in the last 2 weeks. I felt guilty about this and decided to confess 3 nights ago. She was upset to the point of tears. She asked me if I slept with her, and I said no. She asked me if I had feelings for her. I said it was like just a hookup. I lied to her. I really cared about the other woman and wanted to see her again, even if we didn't have sex. She said she could forgive me but thought we needed to go to relationship counseling. I agreed. I kept thinking that there was no point and that we shouldn't go, but I was willing to try to repair our relationship. 2 nights ago I made the decision that I didn't want to continue our relationship. She took it extremely hard. She was an inconsolable mess. She yelled, screamed, cried. She said that all guys are the same and that she gave me 5 years of her life. She said it was that effing whore that seduced me fault and she wanted to go after her, but I assured her that it wasn't her fault. I'm going to be looking for my own place soon, so I'll be without her in a few weeks. Honestly, I feel amazing, and like I'm about to start out a new chapter in my life.